The summit between the leaders of South Korea and the U.S. drew notable attention from overseas, particularly those deeply interested or involved in regional issues, including Korean Peninsula issues. For more on this, we're joined by Professor Song Se-ryun from Kyung Hee University this morning. Welcome back to the program, Professor.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Now, the U.S. has stressed its so-called nuclear partnership with South Korea under the Washington Declaration is aimed at enhancing deterrence against North Korea's provocations and also that countered criticisms from Pyongyang and Beijing. Professor, what does this mean? I mean, what does it say about the Seoul-Washington alliance?
Well, the obvious thing is that we strengthened the security alliance in the East Asia region. It took a form of reaffirming the past commitments about regional security, but with the specific actions spelled out this time. Namely, we have a nuclear consultation group that will meet for better coordination with the U.S. on the nuclear matters, and also the U.S.'s strategic asset, namely the nuclear sub, will be making more regular rounds. So, as you said, this is in response to the ever-growing security threat posed by the North, but also there is a potential instability posed by China's overture to Taiwan. So I think the Seoul-Washington alliance is in the context of the East Asian security alliance with the U.S., but also with Japan and Korea playing the part. So I think that there's a kind of a building up process going on where Korea is restoring the shuttle diplomacy with Japan for that purpose. And also going forward, I think that the better arrangement in terms of security and the economic issues should be forthcoming if those building blocks are in place.
Right. And obviously, and as widely expected, North Korea was not happy. They expressed a show of discontent, saying that the Washington Declaration reflects the most hostile and aggressive will of action against the regime. Now, why do you think the regime decided not to carry out military activities and provocations? And I know this question is hard to answer, but when do you think they will do so? Will it be anytime soon?
Well, there's a little bit of pause. I think the North has been vocally critical about the strength in the security alliance between U.S. and the Korea, but they also issued the threat of provocations, as expected. And if you look at the recent actions, they have been launching ballistic missiles with pretty good regularity, 2-3 times a month this year. And so I think that the expectation is that they'll resume their regularly scheduled provocations. So nobody will be surprised when they do. I think that the fact that they're very nervous about this arrangement, on one hand, some would think that we're doing the right thing. Or on the other hand, I think that there is a heightened risk about the provocations and their continuous march towards having more nuclear weapons and securing the ICBM capability. So there is a increased tension, but I think that for that particular reason, I think that it's more important to have a united front in the East Asian region with the United States and also with Japan.
Right, and the North will have more excuses to launch military provocations, mainly the upcoming Yoon-Kishida summit and the trilateral summit among Yoon, Biden, and Kishida later this month.
Right. I think that it's in the same focus. It's not just U.S. Talk about the security matters, but Japan is a key part of this whole the fabric of the security issues. And also, I think that as neighbors, the economic issues are becoming more important in the region and the world. So I would think that this bedrock of the security arrangement could be a springboard for Korea to begin talks with China and Japan. In fact, there's a trilateral talks with China and also Japan are being planned. I think that the key idea is that we can walk and chew at the same time, so we can put the security matters down, but at the same time, by engaging in a dialogue, we can talk about what kind of economic arrangements we can build in the region. I think that there is a greater need for China to promote the economic development going forward. So I think that opens a little bit of chance for the players in the region to talk about economic matters at the same time putting the security measures and the arrangement kind of in the side.
Right. And also some experts say that South Korea became closer to the U.S., but moved away from China and Russia. Now, Professor Song, before we let you go, what do you think South Korea should take in terms of stance, in your opinion, from now on?
Well, it's $1 million question. We have tried being friendly with China, and we tried the equal distance diplomacy before. But this Korean Peninsula, it comes with literally a territory. We are always surrounded by the big powers and sometimes the bullies. I think what is important is that we have to be clear about our goals in security and economic measures. What is on our side is that we are stronger in economic terms, and also militarily, we are becoming a power to be reckoned with. So from the position as a strength, I think that we have to spell out what would work in terms of the pursuing the peace, but at the same time economic prosperity in the region, and that has to be shared with all the key players in the region through dialogue.
Right, walking on eggshells for now, but we are heading to the right direction when it comes to security alliance and more in other fields.
Right. I think that the action that is taken by the president and the administration is in the larger sense, I think is the right direction. And the one thing we have to be careful about is what kind of details that we put in, so that it's not just ideals, but it has to be a workable solution and something that requires a lot of creativity.
Right, so that they come into tangible outcomes in the end.
Right.
All right, thank you, Professor Song, so much for your insight this morning, as usual.
My pleasure. Thank you.